What up, everybody? Welcome back to Music Blueprint. My name is Gina Fontanella, one of the co-founders of Music Blueprint, and today we are going to talk about why Fingers Crossed by Lauren Spencer Smith went viral. This is somebody that I work really close with. Lauren Spencer Smith is like my little sister. We've been working together since, end of 2019. We met on American Idol. And when I met her, she had a pretty decent social media following, was pretty big on Facebook, hadn't started on TikTok yet. And I basically went up to her and I was like, "What are you doing? Why are you not on TikTok? That's your audience. Kids love you. You can sing like a hoss. Why aren't you on TikTok?" And she was like, "I don't have a good reason why I'm not on TikTok." And then got on TikTok and just started hustling. And then we started writing songs together, and the rest is kind of history. So the way it all started was Lauren, she lives in Canada. She came to America and literally lived with me for like 4 months out of last year. And we were talking about her career. We finally had written some songs that labels were excited about for her. And we were like, how do we get this to pop off on TikTok? Like, how do we get a song like some of these other songs that we had seen pop off on the app? And so we started brainstorming, like, how do we do that? And first, I was like, yo, you need to get a genuine response, okay? You need to get or show people the feeling right after you wrote the song, okay? So we started doing things like right when we wrote it, she would set up a little camera in the studio room and record her response of her like singing along to it. You know, she doesn't really know the words yet because she just wrote it. She's got the words in her face. She's trying to sing it, all these different things. And I said, just get your genuine response. Like that should be your plan and see how that does. You know, again, all of this in social media is just testing. And testing and seeing if it works, right? So she's in New York. She writes a song called Back to Friends. She does exactly that. Gets a genuine response, a recording of her in the studio room. She had just written it. And she's like all pumped about the song because that's the most like original and true response to your song is that initial, right, when you wrote it. And the video gets like 6 million on TikTok. She's like, what the heck? So she drops a song in 2 weeks. Gets like 15 million views on Spotify alone, not to mention everywhere else. And we were like, yo, this is kind of like the model of what could work on TikTok. So I said, we just need to do this again. So she writes a song called Fingers Crossed. And I'm like, this song's a great song, has a really great title and phrasing that people can like, oh my gosh, that's something that just sticks in your brain. Same with Back to Friends. Back to Friends had this like catchiness about it as a title, like, and as a concept, right? And so same with Fingers Crossed. A friend of ours was telling us, you should write a song called Fingers Crossed. And we were like, oh my God, that's brilliant. And all these different things. And I said, okay, when you go to the session and the session's done, you need to get a genuine response of you singing along to the song and just how excited you are and how great the song is and blah, 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 blah. So she does it. Honestly, she had that video backlogged in her drafts. Like it was stuck in her drafts for, I don't know, a month maybe? Lauren can probably verify that more specifically, but it wasn't right away that she posted it. She like waited some time and then posted it later. And when she finally posted it, I mean, it just went boom, viral immediately. Now it has like 30 million plus views on it. And it just went crazy. People were just doing all these videos to it, using the sound, coming up with interesting ways how to use it, all these different things. And it became a trend on TikTok. People would start being like, this song isn't even that sad. And then we're like, and they would start singing it in the shower, and the shower is like on them, like getting all their clothes wet. And it's this big dramatic thing. And it became a trending video on TikTok to do. Like they would use that soundbite and it became trending. but also the song trended itself. So what I mean by that is, for a song to go massive on Spotify and all these, DSPs that we have, it needs to become a trend as a video, and it needs to become a trend as a song. And what I mean by that is, if the song is just a trend as in like it's just the video and people use that soundbite for that thing, and it doesn't become the trend as a song, it will only do so much on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that. This is what Lauren and I have found. Yeah, it'll get like 10 million streams if it becomes a trend on TikTok, which is great. I mean, who's going to be upset at that? But if you want it to go massive, the song itself needs to go trending. And so people were flooding the comments being like, when's the song coming out? When's this song coming out? I'm mad at Lauren because she hasn't released a song, and like all this stuff. And people were just singing along to the song. People were doing covers of the song. Like, it was just, the song itself was going crazy. And then not to mention, people were making trends with the song. I mean, there was like 4 or 5 different trends with that song. It was just crazy. I mean, like, it's like 100,000 videos people made with that song. And this is just a testament to TikTok. I know a lot of times we talk on this channel, specifically on TikTok. I'll add a video up here on different videos that we've done on TikTok and why it's important and all that stuff. And if you want more information on just social media, again, follow us, subscribe to us. We talk a lot here on social media because that's one of our main expertise is social media. But back to Lauren's situation, TikTok is a huge platform right now to promoting your songs. Now, the problem with TikTok is that TikTok is very picky, okay? It seems like they single people out that they don't want to succeed sometimes, and I feel like one of those people because they've blocked words. I can't use certain words. They've prevented me from like saying things like pre-save and link, and like I've had to find ways around that, which is super frustrating. But for other people that hasn't been the case. Like Lauren is not blocked. A lot of my other friends are not blocked. But Lauren utilized that platform to get her music out and get in front of people to where when that song popped off, I mean, it got her one of the best record deals probably of the last decade, and even potentially over, like, I would even arguably say over the last 50 years. Like, I haven't seen a deal that good in ever. Like, not one time have I ever seen a deal that good. And it's because she had so much leverage from that song. Did she have labels already after her? Absolutely. She had labels after her before she even released an original song. People were like, we want to sign you. We want to sign you. And she just held off. Then she had Back to Friends go off. That song got like probably close to 50 million streams on every platform, and she still held off, released another song. It did pretty good, but not as good as the other one, and then released Fingers Crossed, and then Fingers Crossed just globally went everywhere. She got free radio play, which is, again, unheard of, and then at that point, she had so much leverage that she could leverage a deal that was just like the deal of all deals, and all starting from using TikTok. So it's really important to utilize some of these newer apps to promote your stuff. And I know it feels like bandwagon, and I know it feels like all this stuff, and you're like, there's only young people on there and blah, 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 and all this stuff. But it doesn't hurt to get on there and just try it. Try it out for a week. Try it out for a couple weeks. See if you can get something to pop off on there. Be consistent on the app. And if after like 3 to 6 months, you're like, dude, this just really wasn't the app for me. I'm better on Instagram or whatever. That's fine. But all of these new things have a lot more exposure on them than the older stuff. And so you get the opportunity to kind of press reset on the fact that maybe you didn't catch Instagram too fast, and maybe you didn't catch Facebook quickly enough, or YouTube, or all these different things. And now you get the opportunity to do so. And instead of just scoffing at it and being like, like it's just a young person's game and all these things, why not take a whack at it? It didn't work the other times when you scoffed at it. You ended up on the app. So why not just end up on the app earlier and see if you can make something of it, right? And I will even say with my own personal stuff, like I've gotten a lot more exposure on my songs because of what I've done on TikTok and stuff like that. I've also made relationships with other influencers that are willing to promote my songs because it's all about relationships in the music industry at the end of the day. But all that to be said, if you've been listening to Lauren's song and you heard her song on the radio and all this stuff, it all started with TikTok, and it started with us planning and coming up with a plan on how to promote her stuff on the app and make it successful. And we came up with a plan and tried 10,000 different things. I mean, seriously, you guys, we threw so many different things at the wall and just to see if it would stick. And finally, something became successful. Literally, I was just watching an interview with this guy, Tiags, who made his stuff successful on TikTok. And he was like, dude, I swear to you, I did like 10,000 videos and the 10,001 video went viral. And he's like, it seems like that I just had the one thing go viral, the 4 or 5 songs that went viral, but it wasn't. It was me trying so many different things. And then finally something popped off. So I would suggest taking a whack at it, creating 100 different versions of the video, picking that specific word that would make people be like, oh, that's cool how they use that, or that's a phrasing that's, really ear-catching or something. Like with Lauren, all of Lauren's stuff is really sad songs. My stuff is like angry vibes. So like I try to take my angry vibes and either make them sad, like depressed or something like that, because everybody's really moody on TikTok, or I try to make it really humorous and funny. So, but you got to come up with a bunch of different ways. Try to get your friends to like help you out, and hopefully at some point something will pop off. Also, it's an interesting concept to think about how the game has changed in how music goes. And I know some of us can be old school and be like, oh, well, the original way of writing songs is the way and all this different stuff. And I think music is ever evolving, and you got to be on top of what the new thing is coming up. And right now, the new thing that's coming up, even though it's always been a thing, but it kind of went away for a little bit and now it's coming back, is themes. You need a strong title and a strong theme, something that people can grab onto and be like, whoa, they twisted this concept to mean something, and now it means something so much different and so much cooler, and it's ear-grabbing and eye-catching. Even if you've never heard Lauren's song before, Fingers Crossed is eye-catching and ear-grabbing. The concept, fingers crossed, you're like, oh my God, fingers crossed. Like, I know that. It has a nostalgic feeling to it. It makes sense to me. And then when you hear her song, it's like, oh my gosh. She was saying that like when somebody said they loved her, they must have had their fingers crossed. Mind blown. Right? It was a concept that came full circle. So I would, as a songwriter, even spend more time on that concept of what is the twist here? What's something really cool that I can just like twist it into something different and take something familiar that everybody knows what it is, but then turn it into something that's like, oh, wow, I can't believe they used it that way. All right. So again, this is something that I have seen with Lauren over and over and over again. Her latest single, Flowers, she did the same thing with Flowers, and it promoted it on TikTok. It blew up on TikTok, and boom, it's doing really well again. So it's definitely a model to be used. Obviously, it's a newer model, but it's one that a lot more people are using, and you might as well get on the trend before everybody else does. All right? Good luck out there. Hopefully you can get some of your stuff to pop off on any social media platform and just get more streaming and get more money in your pocket. So we'll see you next week. Peace.